Veigar ban would have made a lot more sense here, but Veigar Gnar is pretty safe. KT, like, KT is one of those challengers teams when you cast them where you just kind of know what you're going to get because they draft really standard. They draft like an LCK team. They play standard League of Legends. They're not trying to trick you. They're not trying to actually pull the wool over your eyes. Like, no, we have the answers. We have the counters. We're just going to draft standard League of Legends here.
Lulz, not war, said Jax 100% if Castle can play it. Definitely could have been a nice selection as well if you are looking for more of the split push type. But as you were saying, Wolf, you know, KT a pretty straightforward, solid, you know, similar play style through and through most of your games. So we do have Lissandra last pick here. Money Lurk from Lucid. He is waiting in the brush. There is a ward in that brush ahead of him, unfortunately. As a hook goes in onto the Zeri, and Wei finds his way out.
Too bad there wasn't anything to follow up as...
Yep, that's a blink, by the way.
It's a claw.
Yeah. No, it's a blink actually.
It's a blink to a claw.
It's a blink. It's everything, all at once. So it gets banned very often. We do have a game of League of Legends happening, Wolf.
This is exactly the type of game that I expected we were going to see today, where KT is just like, going to scale up, going to play standard, normal League of Legends, group for objectives, and D+ are like, we're going to play passive, wait for some later team fight opportunities. And both of these comps scale really well. A little bit of a purple look in the chat color is.
And it's going to be KT looking to set up the first kill as Kick comes in with the flash, and Thanatos is getting pretty low. Do they have the damage to burst through? Yes, they do. First blood given to KT, and a massive wave was set up by Castle. And yes, they might have to give up some on the bottom side, but a nice proactive first play for KT.
Yeah, and they should actually be able to get to this turret, in fact, because they can just use this minion wave. The timing of the minion wave allows them to get down here without the Lee Sin being able to threaten. And yeah, some plate gold is going to go over to Rahel, who has finished his call.
I think the Zeri builds where you like build a tanky item later on in the game are pretty interesting. You know, you like get 5th item anathemas and you're like, well, I already have enough damage. Maybe I can... By the way, we do have a game going on as KT are the one that are doing the picking. And they're the one that are proactively setting up the plays, denying vision. Like, Pulbe is just trying to exist, trying to get some vision for his team. As meanwhile, we did have a solo kill from Thanatos in the top lane, but he does not have teleport.
I don't think it should have happened. It's not the end of the world, but getting a kill topside and now getting the Drake feels pretty nice. Watch what happened here in the solo kill, and then we'll probably watch the replay of full base. It looks like he just has no Mega Gnar. It's stunned here, all outed. 2-3.
Sometimes you just get Cassante.
Yeah.
Like he started this entire trade by just autoing him once with the Iceborne Gauntlet. Is that what it's called nowadays?
Yes, I think so. Keep changing
that
it.
item is... Oh, the first blood turret goes over to the Zeri, actually.
Yeah, that's actually pretty huge. Gonna pick up some additional money. She's even being picked into Ahri sometimes where people are like, it's the free win, it's into Ahri. I'm like, well, are you winning everywhere else though?
Yeah. Are you winning, son? The real question. We do have a big fight over this one as just going to walk straight into this. He does get the cage down and has a stopwatch. Meanwhile, so much damage coming out from height as nobody on the side of D+ is actually able to follow up onto this. They finally get the kill onto Feisty as Thanatos is basically unkillable. The Rift Herald is going to go the way of KT, but they are losing this fight as Rahel now with the chase down. He gets a big ultimate as they're just going to have to leave their Nautilus to the Wolves. So DK picking up a big fight win here.
Yeah, Zeri early game champ. I'm telling you. But I don't think we'll be seeing him in this series.
Loopy, rough spot, but he is Heimerdinger. Place turret, and Nautilus is countered.
Castle
trying to get on top of the Gnar here. Castle does have flash, but you ever just feel like being CC'd 100-0? Well, you can just put yourself in Castle's shoes.
Castle's just trying to get his Gnar bar set for this fight. With a good engage and a kill under Rahel, that's your best bet. Because you have to somehow circumvent Thanatos, otherwise you're just not going to do it.
Yeah, they like put the cage on the Thanatos. They're like, no, not that one. Sorry, I didn't mean it.
Rahel's exposed and Gnar is flanking. Wait, Rahel?
Okay, Rahel.
Okay, we're looking to collapse. We're looking to collapse.
Castle, Narvar in a good spot. Oh, they got the Cassante again. Wrong guy. He's just going to W through that cage. Does not care at all. As will we be flipping over this second? Cloud Drake is the answer. As they do find Rahel, they get that ult in. Big Gnar into the wall, and the Zeri is out of the fight for basically forever. Will it matter? As finally they do get the wall down, and down will go Rahel. A big fight win here to the side of KT.
Beautifully played from KT, just playing around this Gnar flank so well, having the Gnar bar set at like 60, 70% so that he can engage when he goes in, and KT has taken some massive vision control here and it can set some traps in the jungle.
Yeah.
Even a dive, maybe.
Well, they're trying to do the same thing the castle they did before, but this time it's with 3 other guys as, yeah, gonna get the kill, but meanwhile, your mid lane is in a rough spot. So that is the trade-off you make. As Gates goes down, just trying to zone away Thanatos. They can only do that for just a moment as Thanatos runs at them and they say, well, we do not want to fight a 4v5.
Rahel is just gonna free farm down here in the bottom lane. He's a solo laner now. No vision.
Okay, here we go, trying to get in onto Thanatos. Nice pick comes in. They get the knock up onto Loopy. As in they go. The Lee Syndrome coming out from Hambach. He's not able to get the kill, but he will survive at the end of the day as Claw is there, but he doesn't take it. Thanatos in a bit of trouble. The damage now from KT is extremely high.
Whenever they want. And okay, lose it.
Okay. Well, now you're trapped in the cage, and you're dead. Okay. That's the end of him, as Wei taking up a ton in that front line, as Sandra not, again, going to take that. Pulbe not able to find these angles. Gets the one frozen thrall, but KT just kind of back away after that.
He's actually just going to have to stick with his team, unfortunately. And this means that if Hambach wants to, he should be able to just go start the streak up. They're considering it.
Okay, Thanatos goes in. He's trapped in the box, and down he goes as Wolf has the most surprised face I've seen in many years after seeing that play.
Why did he just go in like that?
Because Death Cap is such a fantastic item when you're stacking AP as Veigar.
Yeah, he's still, I mean, he does so much damage with the Void Staff, that big Castle.
All right, here we go. Where have we seen this one before? As they're going to use everything onto Castle. He is quite tanky. He does flash and Gnar a Banshee's Veil. Not ideal, as he was just trying to get away. And now the counter engage does come in here, but guess what? Hype is set up in position. Cages are going down to zone away Rahel as well, as the disengage and kite back once again, as I said, from KT is quite insane. As in he goes, the kick over the wall is massive, but Rahel will flash over it. He will not be able to stop Hype from following flashing though, and now Hype is just set up. He's got all the feathers down. He does execute a couple of people, and KT will take this fight.
That was straight up just Hype saying like, I am the better AD carry by like 7 million miles. Everything about that fight.
And Hambach too.
Yeah.
I am the best Lee Sin in this game.
And like beyond the Lee Sin engage there, and like, yeah, it's only a 2,000 damage difference they do in that fight. Look at the total damage dealt this game. Rahel is just, he's a player who will play Zeri well, but like, he's just not as good as Hype, and he's not as big in these moments. And his flank angle he had set up, he did very little. Whereas Hype shaped the entire fight, then they got those health bars low, and Hambach's like, I'm going in. I think we can kill the enemy Zeri. They did. And KT are gonna take game 1. Not the cleanest, but it's good enough. Full day. No,
Just giving them free KDA. As down he goes, and down will go the next as KT take a pretty solid game number 1. There were some shaky moments there in the mid game where D+ had some nice angles, but they were not able to capitalize. And a couple of big team fights go the way of KT. They take it down for game number 1 of the best of 5. Was able to get that done, and he did a great job of baiting DK out of position and killing him in the side lane.
I was 100% with you on the Castle vote until that last team fight, but like, he still was able to get them into position, right? And the death of Castle was in a large part why KT were able to win that last fight anyways. But I just thought the positioning from Hype was way better than Wei for the whole game. But yeah, I was actually initially thinking I'm voting for Castle too, which is weird on a Gnar who's basically spent most of the game side laning and then dying, but that one ult, that one play got them back into the game. Wei, who picks up low Keck W, he had some good ults. But,
Media Keck W?
He had some good ults.
He did. It's funny, even in that last fight, you know, generally as Nautilus, your job is I press R onto Zeri. But instead, Pulbe like was right in front of him, and he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna combo this guy to death, and that they did. Made it a 4v4 right off the bat, and they didn't need their R button for the Zeri.
Yeah, I feel like the series we saw with D+ and Nongshim, like Jiu kind of gapped Rahel, and that's Jiu, right? And he has a wide champion pool, and in some ways he does weird stuff. And that series was kind of just standard, and then in this series in the laning phase, Wei really put the pressure on And then in these team fights, like Wei did, or rather, not Wei, Hype did way more. I keep wanting to say way more than, and then I'm like, Wei, Hype really overshadowed, let's say, his counterpart in Rahel. So I don't want to see
SKT Duke. Yes, in fact, it
kind
is.
of.
It looks exactly like him.